The fifth order of the day and the last order is the second reading of Nationwide Toll Bill 2025 SB 402. Distinguished senators will recall that the bill was read for the first time in this chamber on Wednesday, 20th March 2024. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Yar'Adua Abdul Aziz Musa to move the motion for the bill to be read the second time.
Senator Yar'Adua, you may wish to move the motion for the bill to be read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. President. My Yar'Adua, representing the good people of Katsina Central. I rise.
You may summarize it. Your debate.
Yes, sir. I rise to lead the debate on a bill for an act to establish the National Emergency Toll Service to provide uniform, accessible, and rapid emergency response through a dedicated 3-digit toll-free number nationwide, to empower the National Communication Commissions as the regulator, and for related matters 2025 SB 402, second reading. Mr. President, can I?
You may proceed. You can summarize it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You may summarize.
My distinguished colleagues, this bill was read for the first time in this chamber on Wednesday, 20th March 2024. The bill seeks to provide for a nationwide toll-free emergency number that will aid the implementation of a national system of reporting emergencies and for other related matters. An emergency telephone number is typically a 3-digit number that can be easily remembered and dialed quickly. Emergency numbers are needed in life-threatening situations. They can also be used to report emergencies of various types, such as road accidents, fire, burglary, medical emergencies, and so on. Emergency telephone lines are set up in a way that once a call is made, it must be answered by either a dedicated telephone operator, a computer-aided call handling system, or an emergency service dispatch trained to control the calls in order to provide help. Some have special training in telling people how to perform first aid, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which may be life-saving. The direct dial emergency number system was first deployed in the United Kingdom in July 1937 using the code 999. In the United States, the first emergency call using the dedicated code 911 was made in Haleyville, Alabama in 1968. India's National Emergency Response Number on the lines of 911 became operational in 2014. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, in many parts of the world, an emergency service can identify the telephone number from the call that was placed. With the latest enhanced systems such as the 911 code emergency telephone numbers are able to provide physical locations of mobile telephones, and these are often specifically mandated in a country's enabling legislation. However, Nigeria has several helpline numbers for different emergencies. In Lagos State, for example, there are several toll-free emergency numbers for police, ambulance, fire service, LASMA, CAI, LASEMA, women abuse domestic violence helpline, child abuse helpline, and flying doctors, amongst others. The Federal Capital Territory, Ogun State, and some other states of the Federation have different emergency numbers. The presence of multiple emergency numbers in Nigeria has been identified as an impediment to getting accelerated emergency response during emergency situations. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the bill essentially seeks to establish an efficient and effective emergency response system. It proposes the use of 112 as the national emergency number or any other 3-digit numbers as may be agreed upon during the public hearing. If during the public hearing, calls or text messages sent to the emergency numbers will land at the nearest public safety emergency numbers. Recent statistics show that close to 90% of Nigerians own mobile phones. Therefore, a toll-free emergency number will go a long way in ensuring that Nigerians in distress are just a dial away from the relevant emergency institutions. The number will provide a one-stop shop for receiving distress calls from the public and dispatching the same to appropriate response agencies who will respond to the needs of callers. The proposed 112 toll-free national emergency line is easier to learn, remember, and dial. It will save a lot of Nigerians the stress of having to memorize more than one emergency number. This bill clearly intervenes to facilitate the emergency response system in the country by coordinating the response numbers for effective administration and management. For this to be effectively carried out, there is a need for synergy among the Nigerian Communication Commission, other relevant government agencies, and mobile network service providers. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I hereby urge you to support the second reading of this important bill. Thank you, I so move.
Senator Mohammed Ali Ndeme.